Hey everyone, welcome to the weekly review. This week we're going to talk about Trump. I didn't expect the weekend to be so eventful, but we got the Trump coin thing and the generational grifting that is happening from that. And next week we have the inauguration, and it's going to have a lot of consequences. I'm going to try to explain what could cause what. So let's get started. First of all, let's talk about the sides. And the sides are uh, basically extreme MAGA and the Broligars. And Extreme Maga, we have, let's say, Steven Miller as the head there. The Project 2025 guys, which are on that side, and they are the ones behind America First. They want tariffs on everything. They want deportation on everything, and so on. So basically, uh, America number one, fuck everything else. They probably want like to take the Panama Canal by force or Greenland by force, stuff like that. Not that it's gonna be a big fight, but that they're okay using the military to take everything they want, and so on. And then we have the Broligars, which is all the tech bros. The head is Elon, and they want to make money, and that's kind of it. But making money requires more of what we've had now because they have made a lot of money in the last couple of years. But that means fewer tariffs. That means not that aggressive against immigration. That means other stuff like that. Like we had the H-1B visa thing with Elon. Um, Apple sells a lot of stuff in China. Tesla sells a lot of stuff in China. Europe, they sell a lot of stuff in Europe, so they don't want anything that would disturb business. And whether we like it or not, the tech bros are standing between us and a more Christo-fascist US, basically. And as much hate as they get, or they have gotten in the past couple of months, they are kind of the good guys in this equation uh, from the perspective of keeping the bull market running. Because I think that if we get the Stephen Miller side applying all their policies as they want them, the bull market ends. Because let's say just the tariffs. If the tariffs come in and he applies like 25% across the board to everything, yield spike again, dollar spikes again, market dumps. And it's going to be just the beginning of a larger correction. If the tech bros get their way, we get soft tariffs like explained here. Gradual tariffs is more like a leverage thing to negotiate better deals, stuff like that. If they get the tech bros get their way, then business keeps going. There's no big trade escalation with China, with Europe, with Mexico, with Canada, with anyone else. It's just a soft thing, more like to send a message than an actual problem. Plus, we don't get the inflation spike. Like 25% tariffs would mean inflation spikes almost immediately, because people expect inflation to spike. So it will be a self-fulfilling prophecy. But if we get a soft send a message kind of tariff, that mostly won't happen. People will be relieved that we didn't get the bigger tariffs, and actually inflation expectations will drop, yields will dump, and so on and so on. So this second outcome with soft tariffs means market goes up and the bull market continues because we didn't get the bad outcome, and that's kind of the situation with this. So the tech bros are our quote unquote friends for now, and we'll see what we get. From my perspective, Trump is also not a tech bro, but he's also a broligarch. Like he wants to make money. The Trump coin thing 100% proves that. If anyone had any doubts, besides this, he will try to keep the extreme MAGA camp as happy as he thinks they need to be. Like I don't think he will give them everything. He will give them wins here and there, more like from a PR perspective, because like I said, if the policies get implemented, it will actually hurt the economy, not make it stronger. So they will get PR wins. Like for example, this one, they will allegedly start deportation in Chicago, and then expand from there. I don't think they will expand further. Like maybe they get a couple of other locations they get to play around with, but aside from this initial PR stunt, I don't think a lot will happen. Then we have stuff like this, like this sends a message. Trump talked to Xi as well. If theoretically the TikTok ban is in effect, but if Trump signs an executive order extending the saving TikTok for another 90 days, I think I read somewhere else that he wants to extend and give them a next 90-day extension on trying to find a buyer. So if this happens, again, this sends a message that we're friendly with China and stuff like that. So it's Broligars versus Extreme MAGA. I think the Broligars are winning. Like Bezos, Musk, Zuckerberg didn't donate by mistake. They're trying to just lobbying, the American way of lobbying. And they want the party to continue. They want to make money. They want to have business with Europe. They want to have business with China. They want to have business with everyone, basically, that they want to make money. Trump also wants to make money. Given this, I think the winner of the battle is self-evident, but he also has to give some wins to the extreme MAGA side, at least to still give the impression that he is behind them. Uh, if if we see more leeway given to the extreme MAGA side, meaning they get their policies, uh, and we get less of what the oligarchs want, then be very afraid, meaning the market will react negatively and swiftly, and we could see that big correction that Cem was talking about, like the 30-40% one. It depends how and when it happens, but if the protectionist policies are implemented directly and at the level that the MAGA side wants, market would not like it one bit, and it will dump like crazy. So yeah, now getting back to um, the market, to the TA part, I posted this video from the Big Short, and these are the vibes with crypto right now, in my opinion, meaning extreme arrogance. Everyone who's not in crypto is an idiot because look how much money we're making. This kind of vibe. And I'm not implying that this is the end and the bubble is popping. No, we might just be at the beginning, unfortunately. Uh, and again, if we get the policies from the tech bros, then the bubble will continue and we go even higher. We get like a blow off top of epic proportions, uh, and yeah, that's kind of the situation. Um, but the arrogance is gonna get off the charts. Like if you go on Twitter and see the reactions from the crypto bros, it's like we're getting paid, yeah, fuck you, and basically the vibes from the video. Um, and this will be a crescendo. It will get worse and worse and worse and worse, and eventually the bubble will pop. Maybe it's now, maybe it's 1 year from now, maybe it's 2 years from now, but it's gonna get worse and worse and worse. By the end of this, everyone who has not invested in crypto will be an idiot from the perspective of the tech bros. Meaning, look how much money we're making, and have fun being poor. This kind of vibe. It's gonna get worse and worse and worse. But eventually, the bubble will pop. It's going to be a, a colossal pop. Like we'll see when we get there what the potential is. For now, I have no fucking idea. Uh, But like I said, my expectation is that the tech bros are winning, so the party continues. We go even higher. But for next week, because of some uncertainty, because of the market will need a bit of time to digest what Trump is doing and what executive orders actually get signed. I think we get go a bit sideways. This is okay, but there's also the potential to go up. The most important thing for next week is what version of tariffs are we getting. If we get the soft version, I think we go up significantly. We get towards 610, and we consolidate there for a while. I don't think we can get above 610 next week. Or I mean, it's possible, but unlikely. Uh, but we should be getting the soft version of tariffs. If we get a soft version of tariffs, we get yields going even lower. We get the dollar topping out. Maybe Trump even makes a comment about other stuff. Now that he has launched his Trump coin, I was skeptical about getting a Bitcoin reserve kind of thing. Now that we've got the Trump coin, I think that's possible, a lot more possible than until now. So uh, these are the two scenarios. If we get the big tariffs, I think this is just the beginning. Like this would we would go back something like this, and within the week, not over time. If we get the bullish outcome, which I think we get, then target is 610 for next week. I won't go into longer term targets. Let's see, probably a triple of this. Now we're at double. Oh, on this one. Say this is a double, and we have crossed the double. So 686-ish would be the target for the year, something like this. Let's do also our ATR levels just for the fun of it, long term. 651 is one ATR, 783. One shit like this. So basically above 601 is no above 601 is the threshold to go long. And target would be 551. This is one ATR, and 717 is two ATR. ATR stands for average to true range. But anyway, let's hide it. Put this back on. That's for later this year. For now, we care what happens in the short term. Uh, for crypto, things are a bit funky. I think this is the potentially the beginning of alt season, but before alts go up, because of that, Trump just set the vibe for the next year or so, and it's extremely favorable crypto. As long as the policies don't hurt the economy and don't aggravate bonds, uh, they're gonna go up. But before that happens, I think we get a capitulation in ETH. Like this is the long-term chart of ETH over Bitcoin, and as you can see, kind of the we have this huge level at 0.24, meaning 0.02, sorry, uh, meaning like 20x. No, not 20x. How much? Something like 20x. Uh, Bitcoin versus one ETH. So 20 ETH buy one Bitcoin, something like that. Less than that, like 75-ish, something like that. So this has was tested multiple times in the past. We even went below it for a while here and then became resistance, but then support and we go up, and we haven't tested this since 2021. And when we tested it in 2021 and bounced off it, it was alt season basically. And now we are very near it. I think we go for the full capitulation in alts, and it's gonna be a bloodbath next week while the market digests this Trump thing. And then we actually begin alt season if conditions aren't very bad, and we will go all the way to the other end of the extreme because alt season is actually beginning. Uh, if if things don't go, if conditions remain accommodative of the bull market. So this is kind of my expectation for crypto. Positioning wise, things are still accommodative. I'll show what I mean by this. Oh, yes. This is SPX. And when this bull market started, we were at 3xx, 360, 4600-ish, something like that. I think low was 4400, 44 something, just below 50, 3500. And how it started, or how it got going, was through accumulation at 4K and at 5K in SPX. And these were long-term contracts in general, uh, and the target was for end of last year. So most of the OI was for December 2024. It got rolled as we went along. Like for example, when we were in September 2024, some of it got rolled into December and so on. But these were deeply in the money positions, like as you can see here. And now, surprisingly, as we got to expirations, we see that this got rolled. This was for and now, in spite of this being deep in the money, like we are 600, why are people buying 400 and 500 or 4K and 5K contracts? Well, it's because they don't want to cause a negative impact on price. Like for example, if they took their profits on the contract, they would then have to sell in the market. Like exercise, they get the SPX features levels contracts, and then they sell in the market, and they cause the price to go down because they're selling to get actual cash for their positions. But if they roll to the same level of delta, they don't cause SPX to go down. And this is what they've been doing ever since December. Like instead of taking the money from the contracts, they just roll them to the same level of delta because 4K um is one delta. It's so deep in the money that it's one delta. It's like owning a leverage position in the stock. And they're trading one delta for one delta. So it has a small they don't impact price, and the delta position stays the same basically. And they've been rolling their 4K and 5K contracts into further and further out. So now we have a lot of March, we have a lot of um, June, we have a lot of September, and so on and so on. And this has been happening for the 4K and 5K contracts as well. Obviously, we've gotten a bit of more contracts around 6K, which uh, but as you can see, it's still smaller than this big 4K and 5K open interest. This is open interest. Now, when we see these contracts not being rolled anymore, it's gonna be a sign that we are getting close to a correction or maybe even the top. But for now, the fact that these contracts continues to get rolled one delta for one delta into the future, it means they won't impact the market by causing it to drop because they take profits and sell into the open market. And basically, this is what they're trying to do what they're doing intentionally to not cause SPX to drop uh, more than they want. And I think we will be seeing the same kind of behavior for mega caps. Now, because the TikTok ban could potentially be delayed, I think Meta, some of the social media companies might get hit next week. So I've been saying for quite a while that we need small caps to overperform, and we need to see rotation. We have seen this over the last couple of days and even weeks, and small caps have recovered quite a bit. Small caps are like alts in crypto, basically, from the market's perspective. We still need to see small caps overperform. And if we get the soft tariffs um, version implemented, then caps will still fly. We didn't quite get 20 IWM to 30 last week. It tried to go for it, but still failed. But um, I still think we will get overperformance in small caps over the long run. Target would be 250, and there's still potential for that because they are highly correlated with yields. Almost perfect correlation. And now we need to see what happens with the tariffs because the market won't like big tariffs. And the same is true for TLT for now. If we get the soft tariff versions, TLT expected to go to continue going up. My target would be to get to at least 90 for sure, but target would be 95. Like we should be getting back to this one, to the Fed level at some point, and then maybe we get what Champ says, and we have another dump and go to 6%, which would be 6 point something yields. Let's see. This is 12%. Another 30% from here. Holy shit. So 6.5% yields, 20-year, would be 60 TLT. And this is Champ's prediction for later in the year. Seems incredible for it to happen. And if it does, it's probably going to be later in the year, like in Q4-ish, late Q3, Q4-ish. Yeah, we shall see. For now, I'm hoping the tech bros have the upper hand and win the battle over tariffs. Yeah, this was a bit long-winded. I talked a lot. Hope it helps you guys. I'll closing right now. Have a good one. Bye bye.